In North Carolina, a man was seen thousands of feet in the air, and cameras have caught many more mysterious people across the world. Controlling objects with minds. Supernatural strength and rare abilities that defy logic. These videos show humans with real superpowers.
Oh, wow.
Chintia Candranaya is a famous martial artist, and her skills are unbelievable. In this video, she placed a huge brick in front of her. Do you think she can break it? Keep watching. With a sharp and precise hand gesture, she split the brick into half without even touching it. Since her videos show her doing things that seem impossible, many people accuse her of editing and false acts. But these videos look too realistic. What do you think?
Ooh.
Floating person. Now this sight will mess with your mind. Two friends in Apex, North Carolina were out for a drive to enjoy the rain and ended up seeing this figure instead. It looked like a person hovering in the air. What made it stranger was the lack of strings to support its body mid-air.
Do you need help? Do you need an umbrella?
There weren't even any power lines above him, so he wasn't hanging. The friends drove right under it because the sight was so disturbing. Water walk. Rahat Hossain's magical abilities are truly unmatched, and this video is proof. In January 2014, he pretended to be busy on his phone and had no sense of his surroundings. So much so, he stepped onto a lake, but instead of sinking, he began walking on it. The reaction of people around him says a lot. They watched him with a mixture of shock, horror, and disbelief. It was only after a few minutes that he became aware of his surroundings and realized he was no longer on solid ground. After some time, he just walked back out.
That was weird. I don't know, just like so.
The last man I know to walk on water was Jesus. And you don't look like Jesus.
I certainly don't.
That doesn't even make any sense. That makes no sense.
Mental power. Looks like this man has unlocked a hidden power. He was a master of spiritual energy. He was gesturing toward a piece of paper with his eyes closed, and after channeling his power through intense focus, he was able to create a smoking hole in it. It began to heat up as if lit by a matchstick, and everyone around him applauded because no one thought that could be possible. Floating man. Last year in August, a tourist captured an unreal sight above Castel dell'Ovo in Naples, Italy. There appeared to be a man high above the building. There was no crane or strings holding him up, so it looked like he was floating mid-air. What made this even more surprising was that the old castle was closed for reconstruction, and no one was allowed inside. So how could someone appear right on top of it? The video ends without solving the mystery. Alien power. In the 1990s, a man named Urandir Fernandes de Oliveira from Brazil claimed to have contact with an alien commander, Ashtar Sharon. He said the extraterrestrial beings used telepathy to communicate. After that, he started practicing telepathy and superhuman abilities. And he eventually achieved his goal. In this video, he focused all his attention on a plate and shattered it with his mind. Not just that, Urandir also claimed to turn electronics on and off. After that, he created Projecto Portal, a research community to explore and teach telepathy. Superwoman. In 2017, a woman from Taichung, Taiwan, was in a heated argument with the bus conductors, and that argument turned into something far worse. As one conductor stepped forward with ill intention, her friend raised her hand, and he was pushed back by an invisible force. She was as shocked as the others, and was unable to control her newly found powers. Everyone backed away in fear, and all of it overwhelmed her. After this, she went into hiding, and there are no updates so far. Superhuman girl. This old following CCTV footage from Osaka, Japan shows a girl walking across the parking lot. She dropped something under a parked car. The girl crouched to look under it and lifted the car with her bare hand. She couldn't reach the item because it had rolled to the other side. So she set the car down and pushed it aside with unbelievable ease. No human has that kind of strength. What's even more shocking is that no one has been able to identify the girl in the video till now. Power exposed. Someone was recording a frustrated student inside a computer lab in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and he let his control slip. He pushed the screen away with nothing but a gesture. When he realized someone was filming him, he slammed the door shut with a sweep of his arm. He must have been hiding his powers all along, and one suspicious classmate followed him and exposed him. Flying humanoid. This video from 2016 remains one of the most shocking clips from Delhi, India. These siblings were posing in front of the historic Qutub Minar when something strange caught everyone's attention. A strange humanoid appeared in the sky. It hovered there mysteriously, then flew away at an unnatural speed. This video quickly went viral, which increased tourism at the historic site, but no one ever saw the humanoid again. Telekinesis. Practice. Now this video shared by an Instagram user has really wrecked my brain. According to the video's description, the man was trying to practice telekinesis. He started out by practicing on something small and close to nature, such as this leaf, as it's easier to control. Shockingly, the leaf was spinning nearly 2 inches above his hand. In the comments, some viewers were skeptical and said there was a spider web keeping the leaf in place. But others were giving their own tips. Lightning Man. In 2012, people in Thessaloniki, Greece, saw something terrifying during a thunderstorm. There was a man-like figure right below the thick clouds. He hovered in one spot for nearly 20 minutes, with no power lines or support nearby. What's stranger is that the lightning wasn't affecting him. Instead, it seemed like he was the one commanding the storm. That's why Hellenists, who still follow the Greek religion, thought it could be Zeus. Shocking control. In this mind-bending video, a man named Ryan Briggs can be seen moving objects in the most shocking way. He claimed to have mastered the art of telekinesis and could move objects without even touching them. In the video, we can clearly see there are no strings keeping the objects in the air like that. Even after zooming, it looks so real. Do you think this was really telekinesis? Magic in Walmart. The famous magician Xavier Mortimer is known for sharing the most unbelievable videos, and he didn't disappoint this time. In a Walmart in Las Vegas, Nevada, a customer was packing her lemons and turned that simple task into a magical moment. Wait for it. The lemon began moving as if it had a mind of its own. It was moving like a bird trying to escape. The customer watched in shock and disbelief as Xavier guided the lemon back into the basket. How would you have reacted in this situation? Open discussion. Now it's time to openly discuss one of the most shocking abilities a person could have. You're about to watch a Qi Kung master channel his inner energy. His name was Zhang Wei Chen, and he held what looked like papers in his hand. He began moving his arms as he reached for his Qi. As he focused that energy, something unexpected happened. Thick smoke began coming from them along with bright red sparks.
Oh, wow.
It seemed like he was creating heat and flames from his bare hands. He held on to the smoking papers, and only after he let go of his energy and stabilized his Qi did the smoke vanish. But you don't vanish after seeing this. Hit the like and subscribe button to watch more videos like these. Divine Power. This woman named Ebony Moore Best is not only a Reiki master, but also an instructor who helps people unlock divine powers. Using different techniques like palm chakras, manifestation, and quantum healing hypnosis technique, she says she can control objects without touching them. In these videos, she uses foil to display her skills, moving it in a controlled manner using her gestures alone. Now, she has created her own program to help others unlock their divine gifts too. On her website, you can find different workbooks as well as consultations. Strange woman. A man in Salem, Oregon was keeping a close eye on his neighbor, who claimed to see ghosts every night. One night, as he stood outside her home, he saw the woman acting really strange through the window. She was hunched forward and dancing in a really awkward way. What's worse is that the woman acted as if she was talking to someone right in front of her because of how her lips were moving. So was she really seeing beings that we can't, or was she schizophrenic? Comment below. Real shapeshifter? This CCTV footage from an asylum in Buffalo, New York shows a strange being walking through the corridor. It didn't look like an ordinary person because the being's skin was pure white. No human has skin like that. Its eyes seemed too black to be natural. When this video first came out, the authorities of the asylum refused to acknowledge it, and now viewers believe that it was one of the patients who also happened to be a shape-shifting being. Powers unlocked. After practicing for many years, this man has finally learned telekinesis. He started by using a psi wheel, a tool designed to test or practice telekinetic abilities. After that, he began testing his abilities on other objects as well. Once he unlocked his powers to the fullest, he decided to teach it to everyone across the world. Now he offers online training sessions so that people can learn to tap into their inner energy and unlock their powers. Would you try his classes too? Comment below!
What color is this to you?
Purple.
Okay, what color is this to you?
Green.
What color is this to you?
Red.
Qi Kung Master. John Chang was known as a legendary Indonesian Qi Kung master, and this clip comes from a documentary that showed his unusual abilities. He placed a small piece of crumpled paper on the ground, then focused his energy on it. Watch what happened next. Smoke began rising from the paper and didn't stop there. He was able to do this by controlling his inner energy, Qi, and projecting it outwards. Nina Project. In the 1960s, scientists were studying a woman named Ninel Kulagina. She was a Russian housewife who claimed to have psychic abilities. Take a look at this. She could move things with her mind, but these powers always came at a cost. Each time she used them, she would get very tired and even sick. For nearly 20 years, Soviet scientists put her through many difficult tests to find the height of her powers. But those tests were so overwhelming that she passed away in 1990. Supernatural strength. This heart-pounding clip shows a driver's car stuck in the snow. Even revving and rocking the car didn't work. Time was running out, and he had to get out of there fast because a train was approaching. And finally, help arrived. A man walked up to the car and lifted it with his bare hands. It seemed like he had superhuman strength because pulling something so heavy out of ice is really difficult. In the end, the driver escaped just in time. Real shapeshifter? Did this camera capture a shapeshifter? This video from Fresno, California shows a dog-like figure crawling across the road. But after reaching the other side, it stood up and began walking like a man. Now viewers online are debating over this video, some saying it was a real shapeshifter, while others saying the man had been crouching behind the car to escape the cops. What do you think was happening here? Reptilian wife. This man's wife was not who he thought. In 2021, a man named Li Ying from Chengdu, China, was secretly recording his wife with a mask on. He just wanted to make a silly video, but then something terrifying happened. She suddenly turned her head and flicked out an unnaturally long tongue like a lizard, After watching the video, viewers claimed she might be a reptilian in disguise. Spiritual energy. A monk from Lhasa, China, just proved the true power of Qi. During one of his teaching sessions, he was showing the correct way to channel one's inner energy. After placing a white cup before him, he started making different mudras, which are deliberate hand movements used to unlock spiritual energy. When he finally gestured at the cup, it began to levitate. When he loosened his control over his energy, the cup dropped. Shocking power. An Instagram user shared a video that has shocked all his viewers. He sat by the river in Portland, Oregon, with his palms facing the water. Watch what happened next. Slow and steady ripples began forming on the surface as if the water was reacting to his presence. The more he moved his hands, the more the ripples formed. This man claims to have unlocked the power to control wind and water, but do you think that was truly the case? Let me know in the comments below. Real miracles. The following video shows him levitating nearly 1 foot above ground level. He held his arms out to balance himself while he stayed midair. How is that even possible? Well, I looked up more info on him. Turns out this guy is Alex Shimko, and he has an entire channel dedicated to learning miracles. During his videos, he even runs objects underneath him to prove there are no strings or platforms to support his body weight. And he claims to have mastered not only levitation, but telekinesis too. Shocking magic. Have you seen this telekinetic moment by Dame Mori, who is an award-winning magician? He decided to show some of the tricks to this waitress at the Swingers Diner in Los Angeles. With a smooth flick of his hand, he was able to move the fork across the counter. He did it with so much force that the fork fell off the counter. In the video, we can clearly see that there were no strings attached to his hands that could affect the fork physically. Now that's magic. Levitating woman. Now this will mess with your mind. A man from Pokhara, Nepal, recorded a woman levitating in a strange way. It seemed like gravity wasn't working on her like it should. Otherwise, her body weight would be pulling her down. There's a chance her shoe could be stuck to the wall as part of a trick. But even then, it would take an unusual amount of core strength to stay in that posture, especially for so long. What are your thoughts on this? Comment below. Monk's ritual. These monks from Theravada Buddhism in Thailand follow some of the oldest spiritual practices. Here they can be seen holding a sai sin, which is a holy thread used to connect their spiritual energy into one flow. As they were chanting together, the abbot in front of a bowl began moving his hand, and shockingly, the water inside started moving too. It seemed like the abbot was transforming all that combined energy into telekinetic power. When he stopped his hand, the water went still too. Real superhuman? This short clip from 2011 feels impossible to understand. A man was crouching in front of a car, then he lifted it with his bare hands. He raised the car above his head as if it weighed nothing. No human is believed to have that kind of strength. Now viewers can't decide if the car was a prop or if he was a real superhuman. Real magician. The famous magician, Imad, has always shocked people with his unbelievable skills, such as this one. However, you're about to see his scariest one yet. He told the man to watch his eyes closely, and the next move freaked him out. Imad's eyes turned pure white like a ghost.
Hey! Oh!
The other man ran away in fear, and because of moments like these, people believe that instead of playing clever tricks, Imad has real powers. Electric hands. You need to see this viral video from 2011. In Tsim Hong Kong, the cameraman recording a model noticed a mysterious guy in a hoodie. His palms were glowing with a strange light. The guy looked like he was losing control. After realizing he was being recorded, he began running. When the cameraman was chasing him, the mysterious guy ended up running in front of a bus. But shockingly, he had mysteriously teleported out of there. The video ended abruptly, and now no one knows where that guy is. Strange man. On the 15th of June, 2022, a hiker named Ricardo Alvarez was exploring El Chalten, Argentina. That's when he found a small opening in the ground with a man's face peeking through it. He had white hair and dry, wrinkled skin, as if he was deeply dehydrated. The hole was too narrow for anyone to squeeze through, so Alvarez couldn't understand how this man ended up down there. Since he didn't understand his language or gestures, Alvarez left him alone. Crazy Sam's magic. I want you to watch this carefully and tell me what's happening. Sam Huang, who also goes by the name Crazy Sam, was at the Blackpool Magic Convention in February 2024. That's when he appeared to remove his fingers and reattach them back to his hand.
Someone else?
Sam's close-up acts are so shocking that no matter how many times you watch, there's no clear way to understand them. And if this was just a trick, it was a very flawless one. Elemental control. In Hunan, China, a guy named Li Wen had spent years learning to connect his energy with nature and learned how to control it. He held his hand above a buried rock, and the earth itself seemed to respond. The ground in that area began to shift, while everything else remained still, as if following his command. As he kept moving his hands, the ground pushed the rock up until it was completely revealed. It took the man more than 15 years to unlock this ability. Close call. You're about to watch the craziest CCTV footage ever. On the 8th of April, 2017, an old man in Novosibirsk, Russia, was out for a morning walk. Now watch carefully or you'll miss it. Suddenly, a fast-moving figure appeared and pulled the man back because a huge brick fell right where he was standing a second earlier. It happened so fast that we can't tell who or what moved him out of the way. Was it a superhero or something else? You decide. Shocking teleportation. No one knows when or where this CCTV was recorded, but it's still worth watching. It shows a guy slowly walking across the street. Just when a car appeared on the road, he moved out of the way in a flash. The video doesn't look sped up and no frames were skipped, so it looks like he really teleported to the roadside. If you guys know anything about this man or the location, let me know in the comments below. Body levitation. In this video, it seemed like the man was simply meditating. He sat with his legs crossed, and you won't believe what happened next. His body began to rise slowly on its own. When he was a few inches above the ground, he opened his arms and began making elaborate gestures, likely to control the energy holding him up. Just as smoothly, he descended back to the ground. The man didn't share how he achieved this power, and kept his viewers in the dark who wanted to learn it too. Real airbender? In 2018, someone in Austin, Texas recorded a really confusing sight from his apartment. On the street outside, a man kept moving his arms around in elaborate motions. It seemed like he was trying to control the wind, because with each gesture, the leaves and wind kept changing direction. But the real question is, was he really controlling them, or was it just the wind at play? Your guess is as good as mine. Inhuman woman. On the 12th of June, 2023, a man was driving through Sayulita, Mexico at night. That's when he saw this strange feminine being. Although most of her appearance was human-like, something felt really off. Her ears were pointed outwards, and her skin was too pale, and she was completely barefoot. This clearly wasn't a person cosplaying as a fictional character because she looked too nervous, like she wasn't supposed to be there. She was also walking on her tiptoes, which was really weird. Since this place was only 2 miles away from the beach, he wondered if it was a sea creature that had shapeshifted into a human. Master of superpowers. The man in this video, Ernst Vetter, calls himself a spiritual coach, and soon you'll understand why. He taught himself different spiritual skills such as levitation, telekinesis, teleportation, and much more. In this video, he placed a ball inside a glass container, and just with his hand gestures, he was able to move it in shocking ways. He says he learned all of it through understanding chakras, meditation, and using them to tap into inner energy. Now he has designed his own courses to teach others at different prices. Shadowman. In 2015, a man living in Newark, Delaware, was looking for his dog in the nearby woods. That's when he saw a strange figure in the distance. It was a humanoid figure that looked so dark, it seemed to absorb all light like a shadow man. To his horror, it was slowly getting closer, and the sight scared him so much that he ran out of there. He wondered if this shadow man was behind his dog's disappearance, though he hasn't given any updates. Strange moment. I want you to explain what's going on here. When a man was walking home in Yonkers, New York, he saw this man on the sidewalk. He seemed to be frozen mid-step. The sight was really unnatural because it's extremely difficult to stay still in this kind of posture without wobbling, especially for so long. It seemed like time itself had stopped working for him. Even when the cameraman walked right past him, he didn't react. Miracle walk. A fisherman named Daniel Reyes Ortega was off the coast near Bondi Beach, Sydney, Australia, when they saw this impossible sight. A person seemed to be walking on water. From that angle, it looked like he was really taking steps, and surprisingly, that person didn't have any gear with him, such as a water jetpack or any solid platform below him. Since the fisherman was freaking out so much, he didn't dare get closer to solve that mystery. Unexplainable levitation. Now this one might be Emad Magician's best display of his powers. He decided to shock people at an ocean club in Marbella, Spain, by slowly rising into the air. There was no logical explanation for how he was able to levitate like that, because even after close-up shots, we can't see any strings pulling him or other gadgets. When the video went viral, many people tried to analyze and debunk this moment, but no one could find any tricks to prove it was fake. How about you give it a try?